One thing for sure, what we are taught, while we are young, what our parents teach us. Like my dad used to always say, patience always pays. I wish he had told me that no, you need to stand up for yourself too. So it's not always that patience will take you places. No.
At times you got to stand up and take action.
Yes. So many things like respect your elders. Fine, there has to be a respect, you have to respect. But I believe now that respect those who respect you.
Yeah. Hello, Namaste and Jai Hind. Welcome to yet another episode of Success Habits in conversation with me, life coach Sammeer Ajmani. ऐसे लोगों की कहानी, उन्हीं की ज़बानी मैं आप तक लेकर आता हूं जिन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी में अपने लगन, मेहनत और अभ्यास से एक मुकाम हासिल किया है और आज दूसरों के लिए प्रेरणा के स्रोत बने। I'm really happy to introduce our guest today, Miss Shalini Agarwal. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Shalini ji has been an entrepreneur and is currently a life coach, a healer, and also a gut cleanser. We're going to find out more about that. She comes from a Fauji background and completed her schooling from Army Public School and then went on to do her political science honors from Lady Sri Ram College, Delhi, and passed with distinctions. Meditation, sadhana, and yoga are part of her daily routine. She is an active participant with the Art of Living Foundation and Iyengar Yoga. So let's speak with her and find out more and learn from her. Welcome, Shalini ji. It's a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you so much.
तो सबसे पहले तो I would want to know, tell us about your family, your parents, siblings, and how was it like growing up?
Yeah. So my parents, as you already said, I'm a Fauji kid,
Yeah.
and my dad used to move around, but he made sure that I stayed in Delhi because he wanted my education to be from Delhi.
Sure.
So I am the only child. I'm a single child.
Oh.
I do not have any siblings. So I was a correct mixture of being pampered and to be in discipline, because of the army background.
Absolutely.
So it was a correct balance, wherein one side I was pampered to the hilt and on another side I was disciplined, totally. So that was one thing which I have grown up with. Discipline. In fact, I'll tell you, like in Fauj, we normally call it Fauj.
Yeah, yeah.
So Fauj mein kya hota hai na ki if you are invited for an event, so if it's at 8 p.m, it has to be 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Cannot be 8:01.
Yeah.
Like
8 means 8. It does not mean 1 past 8.
Yes, yes. So, and that has been, embedded in me from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so, naturally, when I got married into a civilian family. And I used to wonder कि यहाँ पे तो कोई भी function होता है तो सब आराम से ready हो रहे हैं,
Yeah.
So that was a drastic change for me.
Yeah.
So other than that, yes, being a Fauji kid again, resilience was one thing which was again very strongly built inside. So every time, I would have some illness or something, my dad would just say, okay, doesn't matter. Even if you're ill, even if you don't feel like getting up, just get up. Don't just sit around. Don't feel that illness is coming to you or you are ill. Don't feel that. So I still remember कि एक बार मेरा बहुत, I was having a terrible stomachache and I said, I'm not going to school. So he said, doesn't matter. You take the medicine and I will go and drop you. Do not go by the bus, but I'll go and drop you. So that's the kind of,
I get that, absolutely.
upbringing we had. Discipline and resilience. So come out of it. Don't just sit and think about it.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning yesterday, it says, whatever you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up.
Exactly. That is what it is.
All right. So you've shared some. Also share what habits and values got inculcated growing up. Something that you learned from your parents. You've shared some. What others? What part of your growing up?
So basically, being a Fauji kid, all those Fauji things were there.
Yeah.
All those habits which were there. However, I never had a habit of getting up early in the morning. So I
Acha.
was a night owl. I used to get up, like about 12, 1 in the afternoon and sleep by 2, 3 at night.
Acha.
I was in a very avid reader. So, I would always get a book. Hamare time pe na wo hota tha when we used to get books from on rent.
Yes.
Buying ka itna zamana nahi tha. Tab rent.
There used to be a lot of libraries.
Yes, lot of libraries. So I would make sure ki ek book once a day, one book a day I would read.
Okay.
So मैं लाती थी and I would just finish the book and then sleep by 2, 3 and then get up by 12, 1 or whatever. So now when I got married, here everybody used to get up early. So that became a huge challenge for me that now how do I overcome?
Subha Uthna.
Yeah, so Subha Uthna was a big challenge. But other than that, all the habits were very well formed, be it etiquettes, be it greeting people, because we are always taught to do that, and to greet people very nicely, very humbly, to be in that humble background and to stay grounded. So these all things we have been taught from the beginning.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I was also told that you started as an entrepreneur, right? So to share about your entrepreneurial journey, who inspired you to travel, start this travel company, and kya initial struggles rahe?
Yeah. So what happened was my dad had started this company.
Okay.
And he was catering only to the army people.
Okay.
So he passed away in 2002. So then I took over that company.
Sure.
However, now because it was only catering to the army people, I as an individual could not make that rapport with the same circle as he could have or he did, So I kind of first tried to struggle a lot with catering to their needs and demands, but obviously they would not look forward to, commuting with me or talking to me.
Yeah.
So then I thought I have to either expand it or close it.
Sure.
So I decided to expand it.
Okay.
And I went on with domestic, inbound, outbound, I started doing that.
Life coaching or healing की तरफ कैसे आकर्षित हुए आप?
So I was already on that journey, which I never knew that I was, because I was already a part of Art of Living.
Okay. Yes.
And my guru is my biggest blessing in life. And that happened, and then yoga happened. So Iyengar yoga is supposed to be the best form of yoga. So both the things were carrying on. I started doing the 5 a.m. club also.
Okay.
So I was kind of already there, but not actually being there, like not as in, I did not have a very clear purpose. I was just doing it for my own well-being. But then what happened, then actually COVID happened. So COVID was the breaking point for me. It was a turning point for me.
Yeah.
So after COVID, it hit me very badly, and I was emotionally, physically, mentally very, very drained out. Very drained out. And I had put on 10 kg weight. And
during COVID, huh?
Yes. I was on steroids. I mean, it was everything which could have gone wrong, went wrong that time. So I put on 10 kg. In fact, my friend used to come and, she would touch my skin and it would bounce back. So I would become like a sponge. So, that kind of a thing. So, and I got very condescending remarks at that time from various people, from people who are actually very dear to me.
Absolutely.
So that kind of got me rolling. And so one day I was like very sad, very depressed. And I just stood in front of my guru and I said, ki, छोड़ो सारी दुनिया. I don't care about the world. दुनिया को छोड़ो.
Yeah.
मुझे अपने आप को ठीक करना है. I have to change myself.
Absolutely.
Now you tell me how you would want me to do that. And Sammeer, you won't believe that day there's been no looking back since then. I kept on getting the cues. I kept on getting things, which I wanted to do, or probably universe wanted me to do. And of course, MTC happened, Ho'oponopono happened. And then all these things happened. I was learning, I was doing all my studies. Still, I was not losing weight. So that had become a big question mark. So I decided I read somewhere about this gut cleansing.
Okay.
And I was so done with the diets because after I had my second baby, I had that time also put on a lot of weight.
Okay.
So I had gone on various diet plans. So I was like quite done with the diet plans. I said, I'm not going for any diet plan. I need something else.
Yeah.
And then when I came upon this gut cleansing thing, I said, this looks interesting. Let me see what is it.
Yeah.
So there was a big why. There's always been a big why in my life. I've always tried to ask questions like why. If this thing is not happening this way, why? In fact, when I was doing my MDC also, I was the only one who was asking a lot of questions. Yeah. So always has been a big why in my life. So I wanted to know more. And that is how I went about studying gut cleansing. I said, let me do my own thing, but I have to study this.
So basically curiosity.
Yeah.
Wanting to learn more.
Wanting to learn more and wanting to know why are the people charging so much for this,
Sure.
So I came across another mentor of mine, and she gave me my plan first for me to reduce weight.
Yeah.
And I reduced about 6 kgs at that time. And that was like commendable.
Yeah.
So then I thought, okay, like this is making a lot of difference, and it made a lot of difference to my health as such. Like I was more positive person. I had more energy in me.
Yeah.
I was like looking forward to things, which were actually not present in my life. So then I did my thing from her, and then I started studying. I took a course and I started studying. More than the course, I did my own research. So I used to do a lot of research papers. These research papers are not very easily available on Google. You have to go and buy them.
Okay.
So I used to buy.
Okay.
So I always remember Shilpa saying, you have to invest in yourself.
In yourself, yeah.
In order to first do something.
Very true. So now, I would want you, tell us in a very simple form, ये gut cleansing का महत्व क्या है? इसमें if you don't take care of it, क्या problems आती हैं, and how can, one do it?
Yeah. So it's very simple. Basically, when we study science, we are taught about each and every organ of our body.
Yeah.
But what we are not taught is the microbiome.
Okay.
What is our microbiome? That is what is our gut healing, basically.
Okay.
So microbiome is something which has all your microorganisms, everything, virus, bacteria, everything. Now, this is what rules your body. This is what rules your body. So once your microbiome is not balanced, there are going to be issues.
Okay.
And your gut is going to gut has a very thin lining. So what happens when the microbiome is imbalanced, this gut lining tears.
Achha.
And when this tears, all the toxins which are supposed to be into your intestine and has to be flushed out, starts leaking out into your bloodstream.
Oh.
Yeah. So once they start leaking out in your bloodstream, that is when it gives rise to inflammation. Inflammation gives rise to your immune system getting triggered off, and then a lot of problems.
All right. So how can somebody take care of their gut? What are simple pointers that you would want to suggest?
So the simple points are basically, first, the simplest thing to do is the diet which you follow. Okay. So what we do is we do not do the calorie cut. We do not do that. As a gut cleanser, what we aim is to eradicate the inflammatory foods.
Okay.
And introduce anti-inflammatory foods. The foods which are very easy on your gut, the foods which do not cause inflammation. So when we start taking those foods, what happens is the already damaged gut lining starts to heal. So when it starts to heal, the food which we are taking starts to get digested very fast. So वो digest होता है और फिर आप अच्छा फील करते हो because you feel light और आपका जितना inflammation होता है body से वो चला जाता है. It's basically a reverse process. Like what normally happens is कि हमारा जो gut है, that is supposed to absorb the toxins and release the nutrients.
Yeah.
Right? But हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? हमारा because of unhealthy gut, what is happening is toxins are releasing, nutrients are flushing out. Yeah.
Oh.
So we normally reverse the process.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And tell us about your daily routine. क्या रहता है? Especially right at the start of the day, and how is it that you end your day?
So my start of the day starts at 5 a.m. In fact, 4:30 a.m.
क्या बात है, 4:30 am.
Yeah. So I get up and as I said, first I was studying, so I used to get up at 4 and then
Yeah.
1 hour of studying. But now that is over.
Okay.
So 4:30 I get up, I do the needful and then come back and do my sadhana. My sadhana is the first thing which I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I do that, and after that I go into my Ho'oponopono, wherein I do my mantra chanting
Okay.
for a while. And then after that I do my yoga practice.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much time does this entire activity
So
take?
it's like half of an hour, half an hour for my sadhana, about half an hour to 40 minutes for my sadhana. And then for my meditation, I
Yeah.
take another half an hour.
Yeah.
And then after that, my yoga practices for 1 hour.
Okay.
And then after that, I go for a walk.
All right. So
Yeah.
2 hours plus the walk.
Plus the walk.
And how does this help you during the course of the day?
Oh, it keeps
Why is it important to spend these 2 hours that you just spoken about?
See, I'll tell you, what used to happen with me was, as I told you, I was a late riser. So when I came here also, that became a challenge for me. However, I used to still get up by 7:30.
Okay.
Now the first thought that used to keep come in my mind was, oh my God, I have to get up now. अब उठना पड़ेगा, 7:30 हो गए, अब नीचे जाना पड़ेगा, किचन में काम करना पड़ेगा, ये करना पड़ेगा. The whole process used to start on a negative note.
Oh.
I used to feel ki, I mean, it was a burden.
I get that. Yeah.
Right? So when I started waking up at 5, now I had like 2 hours to myself. That pressure was not there कि जाना है, काम करना है, ये करना है, बच्चों को भेजना है, टिफिन बनाने हैं, कुछ कोई pressure नहीं था. Those 2 hours were just for myself. So that is what was like a breakthrough kind of a thing, wherein I got those 2 hours and I was at so much of peace, and it gave me so much energy and
to do much more during the course of the day. Huh?
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Tell us, Shalini ji, what is something you wish you had known when you were younger that you now know?
Lot of things. I mean, my list will be endless totally. Yeah, one thing for sure. What we are taught, while we are young, what our parents teach us, we normally call it generational trauma. There are certain values which they have put in us, but which do not hold true now. Right? Like my dad used to always say, patience always pays. I wish he had told me that no, you need to stand up for yourself too. Right? So it's not always that patience will take you places. No.
At times you got to stand up and take action.
Yes. And then so many things like respect your elders. Fine, there has to be a respect, you have to respect. But I believe now that respect those who respect you.
Yeah.
So my daughters tell me, Mom, you need to stop this generational trauma from passing on to us. So that is what I try to do now.
I get that. And, also looking back at your career, is there anything that you wish you had done differently? Or any advice that you'd give your own younger self?
I wish all this coaching journey would have come much earlier in my life. That is one thing I really wish for. And definitely travel was there. It was giving me whatever happiness it gave me, it did give me. But I wish this whole journey could have been a little taken, could have been reminded a little.
I get that. So what you're saying is, although you pursued the travel business, but it really didn't excite you?
Yeah.
You were looking for something else.
Yeah, I was looking, I did not have a clear purpose in life. Yeah, that is one thing which was missing. I was doing it, I was just dragging it along, but there was no clear purpose. There was nothing like which I could feel that this is my passion. This is what I feel like. Now I get up every day in the morning. Nobody has to tell me. For a person like me who could never get up in the morning, nobody has to tell me. I just do it with my own choice because I feel happy about it.
So what you're saying is the travel business got given to you.
Yeah.
Although that is not something that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And also you did not spend so much of time trying to find out what is the purpose.
Right, exactly.
Right. So what you're saying is that purpose is really important. That's one question that you got to ask yourself.
Yes.
कि मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ,
मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ, मतलब आपकी अपनी इच्छा क्या है, what is it that is your gut is telling you to do. So that is what is very important, कि अंदर से कहीं से एक आवाज आनी चाहिए कि हाँ you are happy doing this. So that is very important.
I get that. And what's been your most, satisfying role per se? From a daughter to a mother to a wife, and now a life coach where you're, helping, supporting, transforming people.
Okay, so as a woman, I would say all the roles, which I have had in my life, I have done my best. I have given my best. I was a very good daughter. I looked after my parents very well. I am a very good daughter-in-law. I am a very good mother, and now I want to be a very good life coach too.
Wonderful.
So I have done my duties well. I don't think so there is any regret on that front. But yes, this life coaching, I would like to take it to the next level.
Wonderful, wonderful. So lovely to hear that. What's one advice that you'd want to give everybody with regards to their health?
Regards to their health, that please try to first learn, educate yourself that what is happening inside, like what your digestion wants from you, what your body wants from you. Everybody is different, right? So I would want everybody to know that everybody's body is made differently, and whatever we put in our mouth, we need to know how it is getting digested, how it is getting flushed out, how it is getting absorbed. That is very much important. So need to educate oneself, and I think that's about it. That is it. So once you have that awareness, once you know that this is how you need to do, automatically you will go for the foods or the things which
you will choose accordingly.
You will choose accordingly.
बड़ा interesting है ये. बड़ा मजा आ रहा है. I can go on and on, right? But obviously looking at the timeline, right? I really want to thank you, for sharing your life with us. And I'm inspired, listening to Shalini ji. I'm sure a lot of you are inspired too, right? So please share at least 3 learnings from this conversation in the comments below. और अगर आप भी इन सक्सेस हैबिट्स को अपनी जिंदगी का हिस्सा बनाना चाहते हैं and you're finding it slightly difficult, reach out to me at my numbers mentioned below and let me personally coach you and train you through a very beautiful, simple yet effective 10-week program so that you can achieve what you always desired for. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Like the video and also share with your friends and family so that they also get inspired. Please take good care of yourself. Keep smiling till I get you another inspiring story. Namaste and Jai Hind.